Hello, my name is Fenna. Welcome to Following Fenna. I am a certified coach and counselor, and I work with people in a Limerent episode and also with their partners. Now, all my clients want to know the following. Fenna, how do I stay in contact while curing my limerence? How will I be able to handle and deal with the limerence symptoms and keep LO, meaning the limerent object, meaning the person that we are obsessed about, in my life? How do I do that? Tell me. Well, in this video, we're going to have a look at that. Can you keep LO and not be limerent? I'm going to explain you a lot about that. Can I please keep them? Can I keep them? Can I stay in some sort of contact with them? Is there some sort of formula? Can we be friends? Can I heal my inner child so I can stay in contact? What if I go to therapy real quick and then, fix all my trauma wounds and my attachment issues, and then I can keep them? Can I work on this? What if LO calls me every Friday, so that's really predictable, so I can regulate, even though we're friends, and it's kind of weird that I have this appointment with a friend. What if I just tell myself that we're just friends? What if I try to kill off my ego and read all these books from Eckhart Tolle so I can be okay with whatever LO wants me to be? Yeah, bargain. And I get it, because some of you really had a good time with LO in the beginning before they started to pull away and confuse the hell out of you. We want to maintain the special bond that at least we think is there and maybe was there. We want to go back on how great it was in the beginning, which is one of the symptoms of limerence / all addictions, by the way. We want to go back to the early days when we felt energetic and alive and happy because of the dopamine. The dopamine was flooding in our system, and now we're suffering, and we want to go back to the early days and how great we felt. And we are desperate for some way to keep the other person, since we're addicted to them. It's kind of logical that we want to keep them. But we don't want to feel bad anymore and suffer and cry and feel desperate and imprisoned. And we don't want the longing anymore and the dysregulation and the agony. We don't want the pain. Well, I'm not really the good news bringer here, but I am realistic. And I'm going to use the metaphor of alcoholism a lot in this video, because all addictions work the same in our brain. No, you can't keep drinking while you're stopping drinking. You can't regulate while doing the thing or doing the person who is dysregulating you. You have dopamine. You created dopamine little receptors focusing on LO, waiting to fire up. And I know it's unfair, but this is what it is. All alcoholics want to be able to be social drinkers just like their friends, but they can't. They became addicted, they got dysregulated, and their system gets messed up by alcohol. Now, we got dysregulated and pretty messed up by our LO. And in order to get out of the limerence, to regulate again, to become your old self again and end the pain and the suffering, you will have to quit LO and go no contact if that's possible. You go through the physical withdrawal to bring your hormones back in balance, and you go through the grief process / cycle in order to detach from them. I wish there was a formula to regulate. Well, in fact, there is a formula to regulate. You grieve and you go no contact for a longer period of time. But you cannot stay in contact with LO unless you form a defined relationship with LO. Like I call it a happy, healthy, secure relationship that calms your system down. But most of you can't. And that's the whole reason why you are in a Limerent episode, because you can't be with the other person. And be aware that bargaining is a normal symptom of grief. In fact, it's an early grief stage, the bargain stage. We try to bargain. We think of ways not to let go, not to let reality in. We want to keep LO. We think of, kind of strategies. Maybe we can keep them because we don't want to go through the pain of reality. But you can't. Unfortunately, in order to regulate and restore your dopamine, you need to give your body the chance in time and space to do this without LO messing it all up again. And every time you have contact, you mess it all. Your hormones get messed up again. And detaching is supposed to hurt, by the way. It means it's working. We have to endure the pain that comes from going no contact. And sometimes I so clearly hear the addiction speaking. I mean, some clients, and I said this before, tell me, for an hour how narcissistic and how selfish, their LO is. And they only know them for 6 months, but yet they want to try desperately anything to keep them in their life. And it doesn't make sense. Why would you... this is not coming. This is clearly not based on the rational part of our brain. Why would you want to keep a selfish, narcissistic person in your life that you don't even know that for that long? It's the limerence / addiction / attachment all working together to tell you that it's scary to live a life with LO. But that's temporary. Actually, life is great with LO. I mean, we lived our lives before and we were doing better. Now, this is also important to know. Why can't you just tell your brain that you are friends and you should not freak out and you should be able to handle this and not have any expectations of LO? Why can't you just tell your brain to be happy and calm? It's because LO is in the wrong file. We have different files for different people. We call that emotional resonance. In different files, we have different needs. I am very okay when my best friend doesn't contact me for 1 week, 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, and some other friends, I don't hear from them in 3 months. I'm okay. I'm not even aware of that. I am not okay when my boyfriend does not contact me for 3 weeks or even 3 days. I will freak the F out and my nervous system will go nuts. LO is in your relationship boyfriend / girlfriend file, even though they are not. They got mixed up in the wrong files, so your nervous system has more needs of them. Another important, maybe it's the same reason why you just cannot tell yourself not to freak out and that you are friends and that you just accept, what LO is offering you and, like I said, have no expectations. It's because the part of our brain that is activated doesn't even do words. Now, here we have the brain and the top layer knows words. It uses logic. It can put things in chronological order. It understands words. It's what we call the thinking part of our brain. Now, the middle part is where our emotions are. And in the lowest part, we call that our reptile brain. And this part of our brain regulates our nervous system, our breathing, our subconscious reactions, also our fight, flight, freeze, or fawn reflexes. And when we are activated in limerent fear, when we are freaking out, because we want LO to contact us. We get dysregulated, we get afraid, we get restless, anxious, nervous. Our lower part of our brain is activated. It detects danger and it signals that there is this important person that is not close enough. And we cannot really tell this part of our brain, hey, please don't freak out because we are just friends. And our LO has a kind of some attachment issues, and it's not really their fault. And I would really like to stay in contact despite of their unpredictable and weird behavior. So please, can you stop freaking out? Lizard brain, please. No, you can't do that because it doesn't even understand words. It just detects danger. And believe me, I've tried, and I know that you have tried. All my clients have tried to adapt to whatever casual thing LO wants you to be. And I see my clients wanting to bend over backwards, going against their normal core needs in order to try to keep LO in their lives. Fact is, you cannot. You don't want to keep everybody in your life. Every ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, every therapist you met, every doctor, neighbor, ex-colleagues, our lives would be so crowded. I mean, you don't want that. And besides all this, LO dysregulates you. Therefore, they're not good for you. You unfortunately, well, I don't know unfortunately, but you develop little receptors waiting for its dopamine coming through LO, and only through LO, since this becomes our only source of dopamine and we got addicted, and that's why we want to keep them. It's not based on the safe bond that we have. And quitting an addiction, no matter how destructive, is kind of scary because we have to deal with the withdrawal. But, I mean, statistically, I never heard anyone state after they're not longer addicts to anything saying, okay, I really regret not being an addict anymore, and I really regret that I went through the withdrawal. Never. I never heard it. So no, you can't keep the other person if you don't want to be in limerence anymore. And the addiction is often the only reason you want to keep LO. And remember, the strong feelings, the strongness, the strength of your feelings are not proof that you should be with LO. It's proof that there are obstacles and probably you're not compatible. And once you are out of the limerent fog, you don't even want LO in your life anymore. If you want my help in one-on-one coaching, please send me a message. And for now, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.